all this, let's bring in Peter Schweizer, president of the Government Accountability Institute and author of the new book, Blood Money, Why the Powerful Turn a Blind Eye While China Kills Americans. Peter, thank you for being here. All right, so the Democrats saying he debunked every single email and text and financial evidence that we have. What about one simple question that I don't think that they've ever bothered to answer, either Hunter or James, which is why were foreign government-related companies willing to give you millions of dollars? What did you do for those companies, right?
No, you're right, David. And by the way, they kept sending money. They'd send $5 million here. They'd send another $1 million there. And what Hunter Biden wants you to believe is they got nothing in return, but they kept sending money. That's laughable. There's no legitimate business purpose that he provided for this. There was no product. They brought no capital to the table. So it's really a farce. And that's, I think, the bottom line. Are we really at the point in America where we're going to say that the first family of the United States, or in this case at the time, the second family of the United States, can accept tens of millions of dollars from foreign adversaries, and it's not a problem?
Yeah,
I mean, if that's the new rule,
possibly affect,
we have got deep
affect foreign policy that might relate to some of the money that's coming into the family. But I just want to go over some of the emails, texts, and money transfers that the Democrats say totally exonerated Hunter Biden. The first one is that very mysterious check, or there were actually two of them. One was for $200,000, the other was for $40,000, that said loan repayment. The $200,000 check, which is up on the screen now, coincided timing-wise with a particular business deal, did it not? And of course, loan repayment, we never have any evidence of a loan ever having been made. But what about the timing of this check?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. You see money dispersed to Hunter Biden involving a Chinese deal, for example, and then the money gets passed around to the family. The family members aren't performing any services for these Chinese companies. So it's absurd to suggest otherwise. And look, the bottom line we have got to remember, and I think Republicans have to be reminded of this, America's bribery laws are very, very clear. It does not matter if Joe Biden got a dime. If your family gets paid and you perform policy actions in return for those funds, it is bribery every bit as much as if you get the money yourself.
Yeah, and
that's the key thing here. So it doesn't matter if Joe Biden got money.
I want to talk about that WhatsApp text as well from Hunter Biden, in which he said, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, my father is right here. He was talking to one of his Chinese business partners, said, my father's going to be very upset if you don't send me that check. Now, we don't know specifically whether his father was right there. There are ways to track where cell phones are, whether Joe Biden's and Hunter Biden's phone were close to each other at that time. But there is a lot of evidence like that exists, isn't there?
Yeah, there's not one example, there's not two examples, there's numerous examples. And we know, of course, that Joe Biden would take phone calls from Hunter Biden and talk to business associates to sort of show the flag. So who do you want to believe? Hunter Biden trying to spin a couple of these instances over the overwhelming accumulation of information? Right. Since when did Hunter Biden become a credible witness on this stuff? They've lied since 2018 when we first exposed this stuff.
All right, Peter Schweizer, I want to give the book another plug. It's called Blood Money, Why the Powerful Turn a Blind Eye While China Kills Americans. You got to come back, talk more about fentanyl and why maybe the Biden administration is as tough as they should be against fentanyl. Peter, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.